afternoon, Camp Davy Crockett.
I'm Hayden.
And I'm Zeph.
And I'm John.
And welcome to the Camp Davy Chronicles.
Week 1, 2022 just finished. It was such a great week.
That's true. You know, it's in the books. I am thoroughly excited, as you can tell.
Our 50th anniversary and 1 week anniversary. I don't know.
That was pretty cool.
First week of our 50th anniversary.
Fireworks.
Oh my gosh,
Fireworks for the first time in camp in how many years?
Yeah,
forever, probably.
yeah, other than the ones that aren't supposed to go off by other people. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, we had, so during our Friday night campfire, we had a boat out on the lake that shot fireworks from
Yeah. The close community came out and showed us that they supported us for our 50th. It was really cool.
Yeah, it wasn't even us doing it. Someone came to do it for us.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's awesome. And they shot, I don't know how many they shot, but every time we thought they were done, and then we were like, oh, we see somebody, boom, it went up, and everyone was thrilled.
It was great. You know, the campfires went really great this year. I know some staff was concerned about the game shows kind of being a little, oh man, we just
different.
Spoiled it for everyone.
What? Oh no, they'll find out.
The game shows being a little different, but it seems like it turned out fairly well.
It was so fun, and the crowd loved it. That minute to win it.
For the
that was fun.
Part,
yeah.
As long they come in on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So that's the game show night. So we didn't spoil it unless they really committed to listen to this podcast.
That's true. If they're coming, they're so committed that they hack into us and listen to the draft episode.
Oh, because it releases Mondays.
Yeah, it releases Monday.
Yeah, don't do that.
If you are listening to this before it came out, stop.
Stop here. Spoilers ahead.
Unless you're me or Hayden for editing purposes.
Yes. No, we're going to be editing and I'm going to hear that. Just stop. No more editing.
Oh my gosh. How was your week, John?
It's been long, but it's been a great time. The last 3 weeks have been amazing. ROTC do, scout camp. Campers are always awesome. The pool's been a fun time. It's been hot. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
This is probably the hottest week I've ever experienced in East Tennessee.
It is
being out. So I don't know. I feel like
yes. No, I gotta say this week has been really hot. It's a good contester for the hottest week.
I genuinely hope that this is the hottest week. Even though I said specialty week and you said week 3, I think, or something. I don't remember.
It's either 2 or 3.
Anyway, the specialty week I don't think is happening anymore.
Well, I mean, we'll still be here.
We'll still be here. It'll still count because we made predictions for it, but we're not, the specialty week program is not happening.
Yeah, and next week's supposed to be even hotter.
I know. That's the sad thing. I hope, I don't want to be right anymore because I don't want it to get any hotter than this one. But it was 95, 96.
Yeah.
Was the high.
It was the real feel of 102.
Yeah.
I mean, so I have a weather station on the ecology porch and it always detects at least 5 degrees above the real temperature. So it'll say it's 100, 104 when it's actually 95 and people are freaking out. But anyway.
How do you know it detects 5 degrees over?
At least 5. I mean, it's just...
You're just it feels
because I know... Because, anyway, it's not the more accurate one. We know from our more accurate measurements what it actually is.
What are you describing?
What?
I'm curious now.
What do you mean?
Your more accurate measurements.
Not no. I mean, from the actual weather radar and stuff. The people who have the legit instruments. I just have a little sensor that hangs on the roof. Okay, no, mine is probably $5. I don't know. Anyway,
to be fair, the pool is supposed to always be 80 degrees apparently because we have this little frog designed thermometer up on this one pillar. Always I think it's 83 or 84 every time I've checked it. I'm no, I wish it was 83 or 84. Normally I would be begging it for not to be, but
my watch is broken and it's at 48 all the time. I know it's not
48 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay,
Celsius.
I don't know what that is. Anyway, never mind. Okay. Real quick, I do want to clarify something from last week because I was complaining very passionately about California's bee thing, the bees are fish decision. And I got really mad because they said that they count as fish because they're invertebrates and fish aren't invertebrates. And I yelled at you. Steven was right when obviously Steven's a legal person, so he should be right. But he said that it was because they wanted to put them on an endangered species list.
Right.
In their laws, for whatever reason, the fish category also includes all invertebrates. And so that's not the first one to count under that category.
Oh, so did you find out what other ones are?
I don't know, but basically, I don't know. For their Endangered Species Act, they don't have a category for invertebrates, and so they just put it under fish. That's how it's written in the law. It's still stupid, but, whatever.
So maybe you should not judge a book by its cover.
Maybe you should not judge the oldest trick in the book by its cover. It's a malaphor.
That's true.
A combination of two metaphors. We learned about this from Steven last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got a question. So it gets hot, right? Okay, you know that.
It did.
But I've always envied the pool people and lake people because you can just jump in, right?
So
how does that work?
During classes, it's a lot easier because during classes, like you can be working in the water with them or you can be sitting outside, after you do the demonstration, whatever, at least keeps the kids working safely first. And then, if you want to be able to be in the water and cool off, awesome. But let's start here. One, polar bear plunge is absolutely ruined right now. It is not cold. Like the pool is like a solid 70 degrees at 6 a.m. And I'm like, these kids are supposed to be like shivering in the pool because it's a polar bear plunge. It's a bit of a challenge. I remember as a camper, like, it's cold, but it's fun too.
Right.
No, it feels like it's like a regular midday pool swim. And now when it like hits, 5 in the afternoon, the pool feels like even 75. Now it's not getting up to like 80 or something crazy in the pool. It doesn't feel like you're boiling, but this pool is so warm. And so like, don't get me wrong. We are lucky that we can get in, but also open swims. Those are rough because the cement gets like by the time open swims come around, it's like 100, 110 degrees. I swear to goodness on the cement. And like you either got sandals on and you were smart, or you forgot them and you hope to goodness you get the guard tower. Because if not, you're like prancing around trying to keep off your feet as much as possible.
Nice. Yeah.
And when a kid looks at you weird, you're like, you want to splash me? Get the cement right here.
That's what I was thinking. Just splash some water up on the cement for yourself, but then it'll probably dry up in like 2 seconds.
Well, so on the side where the gates are, sometimes you come through the water hose and just like get the whole area soaked. Sure. But on the far end, we have the reach poles where like every guard knows the trick where you do the pump thing. Yeah. So that's always a nice time. Sometimes you spray the person next to you just for a little bit of fun too. If the guard's looking a little bit too dry, hasn't been in the pool long enough, you're like, hey, here's a reminder to do your job, guys.
What's the trick with the reach pole?
So you cap it and you basically like, when you push down, you let the water come up and then you vacuum seal it to pull back up. And you just keep working the water up the thing until you start pumping the water out. Yeah, my trick on the 8 feet in though is you just cap it with like barely out of the surface of the water and it just starts spraying instantly. You're not sitting there like for 30 seconds trying to work it up the pole. So
I've done it successfully a couple times, but I'm not lifeguard level. I just like do it every day.
Right.
You don't do it every day. That's it's understandable, but
sure.
But I've always wondered that. And then, of course, like you have the sunburn factor. Like, no matter if you're in or out of the water, you're getting sunburn.
Yeah, no. I try it in sunscreen once a class period, and it does not help enough. Sure. Like, it's only a little bit of burn, but I definitely keep a consistent burn for the last 3 weeks. We're getting some shade up, though. We got a canopy that we can pop up. We got a shade sail right now. We're getting a second shade sail. We're getting the equipment for it. We actually have the sail technically. And then we might get a second canopy too. So like if we keep this stuff set up and use it, it'll work out well. At least a little bit of cement area where, you're not dancing across the concrete to not feel like your feet are burning off.
No, I definitely remember walking by the pool during free swim on Wednesday, I think. And when it was like, almost 100 degrees, really feeling it and seeing the people that were out there and thinking, oh man, it's free swim. They can't get in the pool with the scouts right now unless they're drowning. Like,
no, but it's not too bad. You definitely learn to bring your sandals. After a day of forgetting your sandals. One day, I'll admit, there's actually been a few times I've done it personally, which is a bit silly, but I keep getting in a rush in the morning. And then,
Well, as a director, you can just steal your staff sandals.
That's not how directing works.
To be fair, I do ask Tanner when he's not like, he's sitting over at the guard bench. I'm like, hey, can I use your sandals real quick? And he just looks at me, he's like, man, Forgot them again. I'm like, you know.
So has anyone else forgotten their sandals, or is it just you?
No, it's just me. Other than one day, it's just been me.
Okay.
So this isn't like a pool problem. This is a John problem.
It's a John problem.
Okay.
I've thought about just keeping my sandals down in the pool shed.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Don't you normally what do you wear down to the pool?
My class B.
What I mean, shoe wise.
Oh, shoe wise? I normally go breakfast in the full activity uniform is what we call it. And then I bring trunks. And if I remember, I bring my sandals down and I just change into that over on the pool side. And we finally got our lifeguard tanks in. So that's nice.
But what do you wear shoe wise to flags and stuff?
Socks and shoes. Oh, yeah. Okay. I always try and get it all on.
Good job.
I was just not like the rest of them that just
show up in flip flops.
Yeah,
I don't blame him. I mean, it sometimes it's just easier to get the sandals.
I mean, if they came straight from a 5 to 6 mile swim or something, then that's they might not have time to get socks and shoes on. That's fine. Mm-hmm. All right, so. As we're talking about week 1, obviously, but real quick, I do have a question in from the email from Scott. What are the most memorable moments you've had with ROTC cadets?
Is this for all of us?
I guess so.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really interact with the ROTC cadets, but other than
sounds like John had a story. So I'll let him go first.
So the ROTC weeks, the most memorable moment wasn't exactly with the kids, but it was fixing up the buddy board. And so we were having to repaint the whole thing. They sanded it down. We had all the hooks out, and we were writing back in the letters because it'd gotten a little, it was probably a 5-10-year-old paint job. It was a bit rough. And so we didn't have enough stencils, of course. And we were using Sharpies on the stencils because the paint, of course, is also 10 years old. So this stuff is like a syrup going on. So we finally figured it out. We're using Sharpies with the paint stencils, and we didn't have enough of each letter. So for beginner over here, we were writing back over it, and beginner is spelled with 2 N's, and we only had 1 N. So we put a card in the middle of it, an L to be specific, to replace an N there. And we made sure talking beforehand, hey, remember to switch them out, spell it right. We just need a spot saver. And Madison over here was right. I mean, she was doing awesome. She was doing most of the letters for us, going down beginner. And Tanner walks up, middle of her doing it. She's finishing the first N, starts talking to her. And I turn around as she gets halfway through the L, of course, not paying attention. And I go, Madison. And she looks at me, she's like, oh no. And she knows instantly what happened. Right. And so she finishes off with the word. And for the next hour, instead of beginner, we had beginler. And we're not letting her let go of it. Yeah.
Beginler.
Yeah. The only other problem we had was I messed up on deer. That's the only word that's crooked. Deer?
Oh, it's
deer,
crooked.
yeah.
It was just not spelled wrong. Yeah. I can spell that.
Der.
I can spell it.
Der.
Only 1 E.
Yeah, if I can spell it, anyone can spell it.
How do you spell deer, Hayden?
D-E-R?
Yep.
D-E-E-R.
Congratulations, you're correct. So you said you had a picture of the beginler board, right?
I do.
Well, you'll have to send that to me so we can put it on Instagram.
Absolutely.
When the episode goes up. Yeah.
Picture. I right after this, we'll get it right up.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
So how did you fix it? Did you just go back with Sharpie then?
We painted over the one letter. Oh, so if you look at it real carefully, you can see it's a bit darker red too. Okay. Yeah. So this is for anybody listening in after Monday. This is your chance to be able to point it out to Madison and help us bully her a little bit on it.
Anybody that goes down there, make sure you point out the giveaway.
But yeah, so we just painted over it, fixed it up. The buddy board's looking nice now. Clean letters.
Yeah, I'd have just left it. I mean,
we thought about it, but for the buddy checks, we got to make sure people know the swim test levels, and it would have been too confusing. But
no fun.
It is no fun, I'll admit. But safety first, absolutely.
So Hayden, what's your favorite? Or what's your moment with cadets? I was
sitting here trying to think of my favorite moment. I think this year, getting to know all the cadres that come in with the cadet leaders, they know specifically who they like and who they don't like before they get there. Because, the staff that's been there for a long time, they know, and they're like, I'm going to talk to y'all and then not talk to anybody else. And so I feel like I'm finally starting to fall into that. I've been there for a little while, so they actually start talking to me. And we had the same thing when we were talking about with Mike, of kind of, being serious. I think just getting to like know people and getting to like talk to them, and some of these kids getting to watch them go from the worst shooter in the entire world who can't like hit anything, can't even like, you know, the saying can't hit a broadside of a barn.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't hit anything, and then you go and like by the end of the week they're like just the best in the world because you know they had the best instructor. And so it's awesome to get to see their face change when that first time they hit the bullseye or something, because even at high school age, they light up.
Awesome. My most memorable moment of ROTC cadets, of course, I'm not involved with them, but I'll hear them doing their cadences walking by.
Yeah.
And there's this one, it's from the first week I worked here, or the first year I worked here. I still remember it. I've heard it some in the following years as well, but it would be like, when I go to school, there's a drill sergeant there. And when I go to church, there's a drill sergeant there. And it would just, the mental image of they're just going about their daily life and a drill sergeant just pops out of nowhere like, attention. It was hilarious to me. And I will just randomly think about it all the time.
Yeah. Like right now.
Yeah. Oh crap, the drill sergeant. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I guess I've never thought about it. If you really like listen to their cadences, none of them make real sense.
Yeah.
So, like some of them do, but it's like, I don't know.
Well, I would say like that mentioning the cadences, that's probably one of my favorite parts of the week. Yeah. Though. It's like, because you just hear them coming and you're like, you kind of vibe along with the song for a moment until they get there, and then it's class time. But you know, for the pool, you'll hear them across the woods just singing all the way there, and we're just like nod our heads, listening to it. We had one class, there was a unit, and the two schools had I think it was the same cadence, but they changed the lyrics to like insult each other and like kind of be mean. A friendly competition, to be fair. Like they all like were getting along, having fun with it. But at one point during the week after that, the unit came together and instead started making fun of the pool staff.
Oh,
yeah, and they were stomping down on us. Yeah, for a while. So it was a lot of fun. It was a great time with the cadences, and the ROTC kids were awesome. I mean, we got through the classes and they were joking around. It was a good time.
Yeah, that's true. Normally the ROTC kids are pretty cool to hang around. Like just like they're not too bad. That's the good thing about them.
Sure. So back to Scout Week 1, which we just finished.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Congratulations on our great first week. I mean, JD was telling us there was pretty much no complaints on the classes and everything went really well for a first week of the summer. Yeah. This was really smooth.
Yeah.
Until, I mean, obviously Friday morning, all of the issues we didn't know about with paperwork start showing up. I spent all morning in the office working on paperwork with JD and Sean.
Yeah, Friday was definitely our most chaotic day of the week.
Absolutely.
And that's just because trying to figure out where all the pieces go in the puzzle. And
right. Because the schedule is different on Friday, and so a lot of people are trying to figure out what's going on.
Right, because it's the first Friday. Yeah. By next Friday, they'll have that down. All the rest of it will be...
the troops will still maybe fall into that of trying to figure out what's going on. They, you know, but it's
at least the staff will actually know the schedule is all out. Like, even I was kind of iffy on the schedule. Like, I had it roughly down, but every now and then I'd be like, hey, this is right?
That's my thing. I've done scout weeks with the same schedule for 5 years now, and I still don't know when time
or when Crockett Challenge ends. Yeah. Because I was thinking it ended at 5, and so I'd already started closing up my station, and then I was like, wait a minute, is it still going? Because I saw the Cope people more people were still waiting in line to do knots with Cope because they were down in the parade field below me. And so I radioed JD and asked, does this end at 5 or 5:30? And said 5:30. And I had already closed Daniel Rose's laptop that I was using and so I had to run and get him. Hey, log into your laptop again.
It was interesting. I think your station, you guys did like Frisbee toss, didn't you?
Yeah. So Frisbee toss was supposed to be under, I think, one of your areas, Zeph, right?
It was originally going to be from the Eco Porch.
Eco Porch, yeah. So then they changed that around just for something more nature related, and that was really awesome.
But didn't you guys have a Thunder Watch?
Yeah. So with the Thunder Watch, the pool activity, even though you weren't getting in the pool, you had to throw stuff into the pool, and so we were like, we probably don't need to do that. So we picked up the Frisbee thing, and like it turned out to be a lot of fun. It was really calm and
cool.
You know, gave us a chance to catch up on paper too. Sure. You don't need all the lifeguards in the pool for a moment. So we got to fix a little bit of the Friday craziness with it too. But
my event was the insect bounty catching.
Yeah.
So I give them a jar and they have to go and catch a live insect with wings inside the jar and bring it back to me. And the faster they get it, the more points they get.
Do they have to identify it?
No.
The
Tennessee death beetle.
Yeah, that's been the joke of
Trey. The aquatics. Well, you can tell us. It was at the pool. Tell us about the Tennessee death beetle.
Yeah. So, what was it actually? Real quick.
It was an assassin bug.
An assassin bug.
Specifically a wheel bug.
Yes, because it was funny that it actually had something death related to it in the name.
Yeah.
With being the wheel assassins or assassin.
It's a wheel bug, which is a type of assassin bug.
Okay. So just the fact that it turned out to be that was real funny. But we found this, the best way to describe it, definitely look up a picture, but it looked like a baby praying mantis, but it wasn't green. Yeah. So like I was thrown off because it was a small one. Ooh, I'm sorry.
Break the chair.
I didn't break the chair, I promise. But we were looking at this and we were trying to figure out what it was. And Trey out of nowhere just looks up to us and he's like, well, guys, I need a cup real quick. This is the Tennessee death beetle. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, this isn't a beetle, is it? Like I don't know much about insects, but I know what a beetle looks like, right?
You were correct. It was not a beetle.
Well, so we had like 5 people sitting around and 2 of them started questioning it like out loud. And I'm like, Trey, I don't think that's a beetle. And he's like, no, Jonathan, this is the Tennessee death beetle.
Pull out the Jonathan. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Jonathan
he was
Vaughn.
really messing with me. I'm like, yeah, this is my director, right? I can right. Trust him. Like, so part of me was like, this is really not a beetle. But the other part was like, a scout is trustworthy here. You know, I believed in this guy. And so we called for Zeph on the radio, and it turned out he could be free in a couple minutes. And so for like the couple minutes, Trey would like, I kept questioning it a little bit, and Trey just kept it going. And Zeph gets over here, and he doesn't know exactly what it is either. And Trey looks at Zeph, he's like, it's the Tennessee death beetle, right? And so, oh my goodness, he was like, one bite from this thing and you would die. He was really bullhawking it.
Well,
so,
he brought it to lunch with him. It was showing people like,
Yeah, I was like, there's no way this guy just in 2 little paper cups is holding something that could kill him in one bite.
What I thought was really funny about that story is I went with him on the lake to do the Around the Island challenge with the first group. And we were in the middle of the lake, and all of a sudden he just stops because there was a spider that walked in. He was like, "Oh my gosh, that's a Tennessee death spider!" I thought it was hilarious.
Oh my gosh, everything is Tennessee death something nowadays. There are some kinds of assassin bugs that are dangerous, but usually from transmitting diseases, not from venom. But
gotcha.
Yeah, they can bite you. They're called assassin bugs because they hunt smaller insects and they assassinate them.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, our Troop 240 was here this week. Hayden and I's home troop.
Yeah, best troop. They even won Troop of the Week.
They did win Troop of the Week. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, we did good. They did good.
They did good. Well,
so okay. 240. That's Evan's troop, right? Are you?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're all in one troop.
Yes. Yeah. Evan, Pop Tart, Dale, Jerry.
Oh my goodness.
Atlas,
Matthew.
Yeah.
Emma. Well, no, Emma's not. She's just part of the Williams family.
Right.
So it's confusing.
Aaron, kind of.
I had no idea.
Yeah. We run camp staff.
we are the camp. But anyway, a lot of them got our Camp David Chronicles patch.
Yeah.
So that was good job, guys. Which if you want to get the patch while you're here, you come up to me or Hayden and use one of the words of the day in a sentence, and then we'll give you a card, and then you can take it to the other one, and they'll give you the patch.
Yeah, I'm actually carrying them around now. If you're here for week 1,
good job.
I did a bad job doing that. But I'm carrying them. Not currently. But
currently there's no one here but us.
Well,
what if I was ready for the test?
Actually, week 2 has already started, so we were just we were down by the pool waiting for John to be ready to record the episode.
Yes, 16 minutes after we got out for week 1.
Yes, it's 10:16 on the Saturday morning. Week 1 starts tomorrow at noon. And we hear Judy over the radio calling Dale and saying, someone's here for check-in. But apparently there's a troop that came in early, or at least someone came in early for them to check in. Maybe they had a really long drive. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
we left as fast as we could.
Yeah, we were like, oh no, they're not going to call us to do a tour, are they? But we heard that and just died laughing. And I had water in my mouth too. There was an actual spit take.
Yeah, it was all over my backpack. My poor backpack.
That was mostly off the side of the cart.
At least it's not as bad as the blue dye from my backpack earlier this week. Did you guys not hear about that?
No.
Oh my goodness. So I have this golden dragon fountain pen that always drains out its ink.
Right.
So for years, because I rarely actually fill it up. It's just when I'm like, I kind of feel like using that. And I needed a pen this week. So I was like, it'd be cool to keep this on me.
Right.
So when I keep it on me, I keep this jar of ink I've had for like the last 5 years too. And like, I've never had a problem out of this bottle of ink. Well, of course, the one day I put my Class A in my backpack.
Oh, no.
I have like cords in the bottom, all this kind of stuff. I was getting ready for troops in, was in a bit of a hurry because it was just after dinner. We just served too. That was crazy. Going from serving, we like took our trays, like just absolutely chomped down on the way down on our food. And by the end of the troop swim, I just see this blue puddle under my backpack.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I was like, what's that? And I need to get my backpack out of this. And I pull my backpack up and I just see it dripping out.
Oh.
Yeah. So it hits me right then. That of course, the one time I packed my Class A and the bottle of ink together, it busts out. And I had to like take everything out. I ended up toting everything that was semi-dry in my Class A because the Class A wasn't terrible, but it's like blue ink on this is not good.
Right.
Like, that is instantly terrible.
It's a Cub Scout uniform now.
Yeah. I was like, I might as well join the Cub Scouts then. But,
it would have been all right if it was on staff sheet.
True.
Yeah.
But I ended up using, for everybody out there, you ever get blue ink or any ink on your Class A, it was white vinegar and baking soda, and used an old toothbrush, scrubbed it out. Don't have it folded over itself. It just soaks right through to the other side. Okay. That caused a little extra work, but after an hour, got the Class A fixed, washed the backpack out overnight. Everything's cleaned up except for one book I had in there, which is a little sad, but I'll get it replaced. But so
cool.
White vinegar and baking soda. Be prepared.
Okay. So always carry them around with you everywhere.
With the blue.
Yeah.
Well,
then they'll all spill together, and then it's fine.
It just removes itself.
Cancels out.
So I was told that somebody else carried ink on them too, because he was like the first person I asked, because he saw me like with a backpack down there. I'm trying to think. I think it was Mr. Lindley this week. He was the one that was there sitting down. He was like, "You don't keep that in a Ziploc." And right when he said that, it just hit me. I was like, I should have thought about that. Like 5 years of experience with it. I was like, this is safe, and it felt natural. But 5 years ago, I wish I would have started carrying it in a Ziploc. I can tell you that.
So, what do you have the ink for?
For my fountain pen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
he established that.
I forgot. Sorry. That information missed me.
It's all right.
So I did promise someone from my troop that I would mention Birdman on the podcast.
Birdman.
And I'm pretty sure that was a nickname they had for Atlas when he taught bird study.
You know what's coming back this year?
What's that?
We didn't get to do week 1, but we'll get to do week 2 is Bacon Man.
Bacon Man, what's that?
On the menu.
Oh, on the menu! So on the TVs in the dining hall, we put up the menu.
Yeah, which
we didn't have that this week. But Hayden was making graphics for the different meals, and he would put up some different clip art cartoon version of the food or something. And there was a really weird one for bacon that like had a face or something.
Yeah, it was Bacon Man. It's coming back week 2.
Well, it's like if I'm remembering right, it's like a stick figure made out of bacon.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Exactly.
The return of Bacon Man.
Yes.
Coming week 2.
For some reason, I feel like that's going to be an episode name.
The Return of Bacon Man. That's it. That's the name of this episode.
We'll figure that one out.
All right.
So it sounds like we're about halfway through, and we are. We haven't asked any questions.
Yeah, so we have to do our word of the day and joke of the day, and then we'll start our interview.
Oh,
yes. Okay. There was one other thing I was going to tell you though, Hayden.
Oh, okay, then.
Yeah, I got bit by a snake today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was very, very small. It was like okay, let me just start at the beginning. So I checked out the troop in Grizzly Bear this morning, and I was walking out the road, and then there's this little bitty rat snake, like a baby rat snake, in the road. And I'm like, oh, they're about to drive out of here. They'll run him over. So I had to move him out of the way. So I just tried to grab him behind the head to move him. Right. And it was a little bit too far behind the head, and he just turned around and got me on the finger.
And now you're going to become Snake Man.
Yeah, there you go. But it was a super tiny, like, just dot. Like as soon as I washed it off, you couldn't even see it anymore.
Right.
But then
wash the venom.
it's not venomous. Rat snakes aren't venomous. They're not dangerous. But now I
Tennessee death spike.
the Tennessee death snake. No, but if it was a bigger rat snake, that could have been a worse bite wound, but still would have just been a wash and clean. Like it's not venomous.
Been acting a little weird. Like,
oh no! But yeah, then I just grabbed a stick and moved him off the road with that.
You didn't bite him back?
No, I was not hurt. It was just kind of.
Wait, so you left him there to go wash your hands and stuff?
No, I moved him with the stick off the road, and then I went to wash my hands.
I was like, you could have.
No, it was so small. I mean, it didn't even hurt. It was honestly kind of cute. But
oh yeah, no, yeah. I love to get.
He was a cute little baby snake. But yeah, now I know from experience that I can tell my classes rat snakes aren't venomous, but they will bite you.
Yeah. Yeah, if you say so.
Okay. if you see one, especially a bigger one, don't try to grab them.
Yeah, they probably
actually, or any of them. I mean, you know, you don't want to mess with them.
Yeah, no matter what, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Anyway, move them with sticks. Oh, but only if they're in danger. Don't mess with them. Okay. Anyway, word of the day.
Word of the day.
John Vaughn.
E12. I was thinking about this because it means like in a synopsis, it's like a little too perfect for the world, right? And I feel like camp, I'm trying to think of the word, like the feeling around camp can be very ethereal sometimes, you know? It just feels real nice. Like that's why I come out here and work in 100-degree weather, is just because like all the people are amazing. Being out here with like, to be honest, little service, getting that chance to just disconnect from the world a little bit, just be around nature, to see just how much people can grow in this 1 week. It's a real ethereal experience.
Ethereal?
Ethereal.
Okay.
I'm on summer brain right now.
Okay, that's fine. I wasn't sure if I knew the word you were talking about or not, but
ETHE. Ethereal is something very different. Ethereal.
Is that a different word?
I think so.
I don't know. I'm confused. These are smart words. Smart words.
ETHEREAL. Yeah, ethereal. Okay.
My bad.
So
probably should have known how to pronounce my own word of the day.
Fine.
But
well, I like ethereal anyways.
Yeah, ethereal. It's a very ethereal atmosphere here.
Yeah. No, we keep using all these smart words. Like, when I started out doing it, I was using like words that I knew, and now you guys are just above my head.
Catawampus. But
when you said word of the day, I thought it was supposed to be like, you know, like the New York Times does, something that you're not supposed to know.
What? I mean, I don't know most words. So.
That's fair.
We've had lots of fun words of the day.
My senior class, math class, they loved doing Wordle. That was a big thing. It's like I started joining in on it some, and I don't know words either. It was just a letter guessing game to me. Like if I get 3 or 4 of them, I'm like, what 2 letters go together well, that kind of thing. And then once I got the word, it was 50-50. Either it was a really basic word and I should have known it, or something real fancy. I'm like, I would like know this word, and it'd be like, it'd be kind of cool, right? I'd be like, I'll remember it. No. A day later, I don't remember this word.
Right.
No, I have that moment all the time. I'm like, I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of our words of the day from before?
No, I do not. Okay. I remember waffle.
Waffle?
Yeah, really?
That was yours.
I haven't eaten breakfast yet.
That's fair. I've actually been talking about Waffle House a lot this week. I'm not going to lie. Thinking of waffles.
That's interesting, Hayden.
That was the word of the day.
What's the joke of the day?
Joke of the day. All right. Let me make sure I can do this right. So I don't want to be able to need to think about it. So what did the baby corn say to the mama corn?
I don't know.
What?
Where's popcorn?
Okay.
That's a dad joke in more ways than one.
That's almost a milk carton joke. All the milk carton jokes have to do with cows. So.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Some of them was like math teachers or something.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did they ever play? Like, are there new jokes on the milk carton? I haven't checked them.
There are like 5.
Yeah. I have not brought a milk carton to do a milk carton joke, which is upsetting. I promised I would do that every week. But
Did you? I don't remember you promising that.
I did that.
Well, you broke your promise anyway, so it's too late. Okay. Now, I also have a new Malaphor, because we talked about Malaphors last time. So, you know the saying, get your head out of the clouds, or you got your head in the clouds, like you're not paying attention. And then there's also every cloud has a silver lining.
Oh, yeah.
So you can say, get your head out of the silver lining for someone who's really annoyingly optimistic. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. All right, time for our interview.
Yeah.
The official questions begin now. So, I don't think we actually said this. Maybe we did. I don't know. But you are the pool director.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
the pool director.
If that wasn't clear by now.
Halfway through this and we don't have any.
So, how many years have you worked here and what positions have you held previously?
So 2017, I CIT'd for just 1 week. So I don't really count it as a year to my experience. And after that, I really wanted to come back for a while. It was a really awesome time. Like I said, I love camp. It's a really amazing place. But I just never had time in the summers between sports and camping here as a camper, that kind of thing. And just finally last year, I got the chance to come back for half the year. And I kind of count it as like I worked that year as a year of experience. I got to take over Samuel's place as the golf instructor and the welding instructor.
Right.
And I got to do some of the lifeguarding because the new lifeguarding class as of last year, I got to take that as a camper, got certified, and so I was able to help out a lot, and that was really awesome.
Yeah.
And then this year, I'm just pool director. So I've been golf instructor, welding instructor, and pool director / snorkeling instructor.
Yeah.
So
You've done a really good job with pool director this year.
I appreciate that.
I know that not that anybody was worried. It was your new director, obviously, and so there's always those new director jitters and stuff, and so, but you've done really well.
I appreciate that a lot. I won't lie, coming into it, I was pretty nervous, and I'm still like working out a few little spots here and there, but overall, it's like for the first week, I'm excited how it went, and like I feel like we got everything we really needed, like baseline down after the ROTC weeks, after the first week of scout camp. I think we're pretty well prepared, and like I'm ready for the rest of the season. Finish off the next 3 scout weeks. Other than specialty week, we have one more ROTC week, right? And specialty week, I think.
It's kind of like
there's
like a half thing. So.
I got you.
I think after week 4, we have like a youth camp that's non-scouting.
And there's Weeblos week as well.
Yeah.
So we got a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But
we got a certain amount of weeks left. Yeah. End of July, more or less.
Yeah, pretty much. So next question is, what troop are you in, or what troops have you been in? And then how many years have you been in scouting?
Okay, so if we're counting Cub Scouts, I've basically since I was 5, because I was a Tiger Scout, went all the way up to Eagle Scout.
That's cool.
So 13 years now scouting. Troops, I started in 1871. Then
that was a long time ago.
I thought we were still talking about years. I was like,
yeah, guys. I mean, 13 years since 1871, guys. But I started in Troop 1871. We created that one. Kind of fell off as we left because we were like one of 2 families that made the whole group up. When we moved over here to East Tennessee, I got into one troop that I can't remember the number of, because I was only there for like half a year. We just moved. I kind of like was in and out of scouting at that point. Yeah. But then when I got into Troop 369 with Tate, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tate's the only one on the Camp David Crockett staff that was in the troop. I got through the rest of my requirements. I really stayed in scouting with that one. And then as Tate and his family eagled out and we're moving on to college and stuff, my brother did. The last 2 of us, Keaton and I, moved to Troop 295. And so that's kind of the last troop I was really active with. I now have a venturing crew where we live now too. But
cool.
Yeah, so I'm kind of in the middle. I'm just really like, scout camp's my main connection to scouts right this second.
Cool. So what year did you get your eagle?
Last year. Yeah, in July.
2021.
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, what'd you do?
I did a project on working with billion graves. So it's like you photograph. Sorry, my voice is really bad after all the yelling this week. Yeah, but you photograph gravestones, you send them to billion graves, and you can either help transcribe them or not. But it's kind of like ancestry.com for finding where family members or friends or something are buried.
Okay,
trying to be able to find that. So it was really cool. I got to actually do one with my one of the work periods with my family down in Alabama, between Mississippi and Alabama, and found like centuries old and like really worn down even grave sites of family or just local ones randomly, and learned a lot there. And like it was really fun project to work with.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
So I don't know. I had something else to say, but I'm mind blanking.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you mentioned Tate, who is the lakefront director.
Yes.
now you two are kind of like, you're the two aquatics directors under Trey. Would you say you're more like rivals, antithesis, or are you, how does that dynamic work?
I know most of the time pool and lake are kind of like, put out there as like against each other, it's kind of like a rivalry thing. But this year it's just been, we're setting up still. I don't think we have time to have like the fun little rivalry thing. Like right now we're just trying to figure stuff out. Maybe once we get more into the season and have like our classes, everything perfect and ready to go, we might mess around a little bit and, have the little joke going on. But overall, we respect each other a lot. I hope that's been a thing of all past directors is mutual respect, even if you're messing around some. Right. And but yeah, no, Tate's a great guy. I love working with him.
Right.
We all have to do swim tests together. Right. So we don't really want to.
All aquatics works together and shares some duties. So
right. Yeah, I have to get Tate's opinions. I hope his are just completely different.
This whole time he's planning my demise. I'm like, all right, let's go with Tate. We're friends, right?
All right. So next question is, what is your favorite campsite and shelter on camp? So like program shelter and campsite.
That's a good question. Campsite. Beaver, because it's Beaver.
So that's another
the central, right?
That's true. Yeah,
that's Beaver.
Right across from the pool.
Yeah, it's right in the middle of camp. We only got it 1 year, but like it's getting around camp from Beaver is so nice.
It is a nice camp. Like it's central. It's nice.
And like the 1 year I got it, I don't think Cope was even open yet because that was this last 2 years when Cope finally opened back up, right?
Right.
So Beaver, that was an amazing place. Shelter? I don't know.
Gotta pick one.
I guess the pool shelter. I don't know. I work there all the time. I just want to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's true. Mine was the archery range, the new shelter anyway, so.
I've not seen the new shelter. I'll have to check that out.
You have to come over when we do staff shoot.
I'm down.
So, okay. Oh, gosh. So, this is a fun question that I like. What is your favorite dining hall food? That they've either served this year or served last year. Now we're in a slump.
Any time in the past.
Yeah, we're in a slump right now of breakfast just all being
right. So I said on the last episode, okay, we always had biscuits for ROTC, but like Scout Weeks, it's not always biscuits. Yes. So far, they have proven me wrong.
Yeah.
Now, it's not always biscuits and gravy. There's always something different with the biscuits, but we have had biscuits every morning this week.
Yes. And like, I love the dining hall stuff.
But
yeah, we've got to work on something. Biscuits every day,
But dinner last night.
Oh my God.
Really good. It was the first meal all week, I think. Everyone at my table completely cleaned off their plate, and I was fully satisfied. It was a really good
dinner. Dinner was so good. It was like chicken, stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy.
It felt like Thanksgiving.
And green beans.
It did feel like
It was really nice.
Yeah.
Because there's like one meal, I think beginning of this week or maybe into last week, that just like absolutely was like, I was like, this is great. Yeah. But I'm with everything going on, my brain's so dead I won't be able to remember it. But I will say the corn never tastes bad here.
Really?
Now like a little bit of salt and pepper too. I love it even more, but like I've had bad corn before at camp. It's just all the butter and everything they put in this corn. It's never bad. I enjoy it. Even the corn on the cob too. I actually like that more than just the corn. But yeah, no. So camp corn, always amazing.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of corn in general, but I do like their corn on the cob. This is a special place in my heart for that.
I usually don't eat much of it because it'll get stuck in my teeth.
Yeah. If you don't have floss, you're very severely unprepared for corn on the cob.
So your favorite dining hall food is corn?
We'll go with it.
Okay. I mean, sure. All right.
I'm going to mention this again, hopefully in hopes that they have it. The cherry blossom chicken, it's still the best meal ever.
Yeah.
They should have it.
Okay. What's your favorite Marvel movie?
Iron Man, easy. I've loved Iron Man.
Like the first one?
Yeah. Okay. First 1 and 2 are my favorites. Now, they're all of them. I've never seen a bad Iron Man movie, but since a child, I've been like, that's my dream. I want to make an Iron Man suit one day.
Man, exactly right. Anthony, if you're listening, at the OA, we've talked about we need to make Iron Man suits to build up the lodge again.
My plan is that we're going to shut down the OA lodge for 2 years. We're going to buy 2 Iron Man suits.
Okay.
And we're going to save the world for 2 years. And then we'll become popular, right? So we open the lodge back up the 3rd year, and everybody wants to join, not because they care about the lodge, but because they want to be around the famous Iron Man people. It's a genius way to get membership.
Yeah.
I see. I will say,
but Anthony won't give us the money for it.
He says it's not cost effective. I just don't see the problem.
Yeah, I don't. It's a few $1 million for a few million OA members.
Yeah. Each one of them will pay $15 dues.
We did buy sunglasses, so I guess that's close.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So I'm actually going to engineering school in August. So if I get down on the plans for an Iron Man suit, I'll get you guys the first couple. There
all right, good. Good to know. We've got that. Let's shake on it. There we go. All right.
So even though we've told a lot, because the whole first part of this was stories, but we want to know what is your favorite camp story or one of your favorite camp stories. Because I know there's tons. Obviously.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I have a lot of good memories here, but I've never really had like some of the crazy, silly stories happen around me.
It can be something simple. It doesn't have to be a
like
heartwarming moment.
My favorite memory I've ever had from camp was I was a camper. My brother and I were taking the water sports class, and we had a 3rd guy in there, and so it was just 3 of us for 2 hours I think for the water sports class, and Gabe and I, we are so competitive when we're when we're messing around. And this was in the epitome of our competitiveness too. We were really, really hardcore with each other, and so we made bets on first person to get up, first person to complete merit badge, all that. I won on both. I was really proud of myself.
Congratulations!
I did. Yeah, if I get my brother on listening to the show, I gotta make sure I bring it back up. I remember he actually lost something that day though. It made me feel so bad for him. So I was like, look, man, I won the competition. That's what mattered. I'm not taking your $15. And after a couple weeks, I made fun of him for it and was a little mean about it, but I gave him a chance to enjoy the rest of his day, hopefully. But just that chance to be out there with Gabe and on the water, and I keep going back to camp is such an amazing place.
Right.
It was already just a peaceful time, and we were having fun, competing with each other. We both learned to water ski that year.
Yeah. It's a good place to bond with family.
Yeah, absolutely. Friends, family, you just make so many experiences here, and it's just such a positive environment. And I feel like in 1 week of summer camp, you learn so much more than you do an entire year of school about just life skills. Maybe not science and all that, but
you can learn about animals at a college.
Yeah, you learn about the Tennessee death beetle.
Well, I think overall, though, it's a really great way to learn a lot about life, and I feel like that's a smart thing.
Because it's for a lot of kids coming out here, first time being away from the parents, first time being away from home, you learn to take care of yourself in a week, and so because you have to.
And you see campers stand up way straighter by the end of the week. They're making more eye contact just about every time.
Right.
The shy kids normally come out and speak at least some more of their own free volition. Right.
Well, that's what I always love is like you're saying. By the end of the week, these kids are the first week they come in, and I used to work in first year, so I saw this a lot with younger kids. They would come in, they'd just be really sad. They'd be like, "I just want to go home." Yeah. By the end of the week, and I always thought, I was like, by the end of the week, you're gonna love this place, and you're gonna not want to leave. And I've had kids literally crying in the car ride home because they wanted to go back.
Yeah.
You were just saying that you wanted to get home with your sleep.
5 days ago, you were hating this place.
Come back next year.
Yeah, absolutely. So. I would say one thing I think is worth mentioning. This year, I've heard a lot less about goggle ball.
That's true.
Because normally, competition stuff, once you get the kids started acting, doing the competition stuff, it's just goggle ball after goggle ball. Yeah. But this year's been chess, checkers, volleyball.
That's true. There's been a lot of different stuff going on.
What? There was one Ultimate Frisbee. There's been a few of those. There was one that was a leaf identifying contest and knot tying. It was knot tying. That one I thought was so cool. I was bringing it back to the scout basics, I'll be honest, I kind of need to touch up on my own knots. I was the fact that these guys want to have that kind of competition has been really cool.
That is cool.
All right, so it's time for the question from our previous guest, Stefan Cusick. He asked, what is something that happens every week during a normal week of scout camp that you are always looking forward to?
Ooh. I want to come up with something different than talking about seeing the guys, like everybody like get more confident.
Mine is Fridays.
Fridays?
The whole day?
The Camp David Crockett Challenge?
The campfire.
I love
the campfire.
Absolutely. I would say, obviously, a big one for most Sydney staff is the Thursday, the volleyball competition.
Yeah,
that's always a fun time. It's always a lot of like just messing around back and forth, but it's a fun atmosphere. The music playing, all that. I have enjoyed this week, and I'm like the rest of the weeks, like the music playing on when they come in and when they're exiting, that all that good stuff.
Yeah, I love the amount of music you have around camp.
We had our Conclave playlist playing, right?
Yeah. The 8.5 hours of
Hayden and I made a playlist for when we hosted Conclave, and he's used that for everything ever since.
Because it's 8.5 hours of what we know is clean. Listen to every song to make sure it has no bad words or doesn't. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, it was, when I first got here Sunday, I was like, "What is that playing?" Because it was so loud. I was like, "Is somebody just blasting their music out of their car or something?"
Right.
And nobody knew. And then finally, JD started talking about the music playing for the day. I was like, "Oh, so it's not someone just being silly out there. It's like this was planned."
Yeah, I do have to say we were having the staff meeting, and Dale was kind of talking about serious stuff, and then I like to move it stuff. That was really funny, I thought, because it was like it wasn't like he wasn't screaming or anything. He was just trying to be a little bit more serious about what we were talking about. And then I was like, okay. I
didn't realize you'd started that before staff even got here.
Yeah.
Because I came in late on Sunday. I mean, it was planned. JD knew anyway, but yes.
So, I had started it because I got here at 9 because I wanted to get all that set up so that way I didn't have to be doing it as campers rolled in.
Right.
And so, I had started it and it was playing during the staff meeting, which provided to be some entertaining moments.
Okay. Very cool.
So, okay. This is the hardest part that we were talking about before that we've already got there. You've had 51 minutes to think about it. The next question for the next guest.
I actually was just thinking about this, so perfect timing. Okay. Kind of wrapping back up to, I guess the question really that I was asking me too. What is your favorite thing you look forward to with staff, and what's the favorite thing you look forward to with campers each week?
Okay. So two different. Let me write that down. Hold on. I can't forget.
You're telling me you're not going to remember this when you come back and
actually, when I come back and listen to it again, I'll write it down.
You can't listen to it again.
What?
You're going to have to stop.
Stop. Better write it down now then. Okay.
Okay. So my bad. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, last question, the most important question: team doors or wheels?
What?
Are there more doors in the world or wheels?
Ooh. That's a.
So you don't realize it until you think about it.
Because there's wheels as in tires, or wheels as in like the whole wheel function?
A wheel has to be on a track or an axle.
Doors. Houses, everything else, like...
Yeah, but what about like cabinets and houses? Those have wheels.
They have wheels inside them.
Not all of them, though.
Yeah, think about all the wheels inside machinery.
Yeah. Wheels inside. I mean, there's wheels.
Hot Wheels cars.
Hot Wheels cars,
but they do have doors. They do have doors,
but not opening.
You didn't say yet they have to.
Well, that's the other. The wheel has to be on track or axle. The door has to be on a hinge. Okay. Yeah.
So
I might have to go team wheels then. Dude, that's a good point. There is a lot of wheels in the.
We've convinced him. Another convert to team wheels. Okay. So the final, there's the final two. There's the staff quotes and there's the thought of the day. You have a thought of the day?
I kind of do.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Well, here are some quotes I've collected from this week of camp from staff, and you gotta guess who said them, okay? So the first one, you're becoming like a vegan, but for cereal.
You're becoming like a vegan for cereal. Okay. And John, you can help out as well.
I'll let you guess first, but
Oh, man. So, okay. So it's got to be somebody that's like knows what a vegan is.
Yeah, so that's 90% of the staff just off, guys.
Yeah. We're gonna knock some people out. And so I'm thinking that, let's see, this is gonna be Steven saying it to Daniel. Whoever it is saying it to Daniel.
They're saying it to me.
So it's Aaron.
No.
Or it's Steven. Or Daniel.
I was going to guess Clayton, but saying to you, I don't see Clayton. That just sounds like something Clayton would say to me.
Yeah, now that they're saying it to you, that's interesting. So if it's not Steven...
Because nobody talks to you. I'm kidding, Zeph. I'm sorry.
And it was on. They were on camp staff.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
All these are from camp staff.
the 350 scouts. I have to guess. Oh man, I don't know. Do you have a guess?
You ruined my. When you said it, I don't see it being clean anymore.
Yeah. Atlas.
Camden.
Okay, final guesses.
I think it's. I'm going with Daniel. Daniel, final guess.
Okay, it was Dylan.
Oh,
That does make
that
sense.
does make sense. Yeah.
I was close with the Clayton guys. I
Yeah,
feel like they got
sure.
a similar thing there.
Okay, all right. Now, next one. That's using the Camp Davy Crockett thinker.
That's
JD. Clayton?
Well, see, he used it in a country accent, so that's going to be something.
that is.
That's why I went with Clayton.
I'll go with
Okay.
Clayton too.
I don't know that he would say Camp Davy Crockett. I don't know that he knows where he works.
Okay, it was James Crussell.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
You threw us off.
I think I heard that offhand throughout the week too.
Yeah. But fun observation though. Ethan Rose, Daniel's brother. His voice sounds like 50-50 mix of his brother Daniel and James Russell.
I'll have to listen to it
Yeah.
next time.
I've noticed this. It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
All right. Next quote. Minty fresh eyes. That's a rare achievement.
I heard this one. I heard about this
Did you?
I
one.
feel like I've not heard it, but I feel like I heard about it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. God,
Can you tell us what staff they're on?
Tell me what program they're
Okay, it was Eaglebound.
Eagle,
in. Alice.
not Carl. I can tell you that. It's not Carl. That's like
I heard Alice talking about mints this morning.
Allison. Yeah.
Okay, it was Avery.
Avery.
Okay.
Maybe it was Alice too.
I don't think we're
All right.
too good at this.
Yeah.
No, all right, this is the last one, and this is going to prove whether you know anything about this person.
Okay.
Okay, because it says that in the quote. If you know anything about me, you'll know I hate LeBron James.
No.
I also feel like I've heard something about that. I think somebody's mentioned to me this
Yeah.
week.
So somebody that knows about sports, so it also takes off 90% of them. If you know, okay. So it's got to be what context, like where at camp was this?
I didn't even hear the context. I just heard this
Like where at camp?
in staff camp.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to narrow things
Okay.
down.
Can we get one more hint
give
with
some
the area?
It was this morning.
It was this morning,
Yes.
so it was during the staff meeting. So that means literally everyone.
Exactly.
Who are you sitting next to? That
I was just walking up.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's why I
Okay.
didn't hear the context.
Was that Dylan?
say the sentence one more time.
If you know anything about me, you'll know I hate LeBron James.
I'm gonna go with Clayton again.
I don't know that Clayton knows who LeBron James is.
Okay. You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be disappointed. It was JD.
Oh, darn.
That you don't know anything about JD. Now you have to
I
know.
don't know who JD is.
Sorry, JD. Hayden doesn't even know you anymore.
Yeah,
All right. To wrap up, the thought of the day.
Yeah, the thought of the day. I had it, and then I thought about those, and now I don't have it.
Think of something again.
Oh, man. So
Who do you?
there are two things that I would like to mention. I just
Okay.
spit it. There are two things that I'd like to mention that we didn't mention. We talked about volleyball earlier. We lost the first week of volleyball
Yes.
to the Scoutmasters, but that is traditional. We do normally lose the first week, so because we're still learning. It's growing pains, as JD said.
And also Ghost Troop 240's here.
Oh yeah,
Their Scoutmasters are always
yeah. So we did that, which is all right. We'll become better next year.
Yes.
Or
next week.
Yeah.
Next week. You'll win next week. Okay.
And the first week next year, to be clear.
Sure.
We
Yeah,
will be ready
absolutely.
then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thought of the day. I don't know. I had a thought that I wanted to think about, but then I thought about it, and now I don't think
Okay.
about it.
Well, my thought of the day is this is officially our longest episode.
That is
Really?
true.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
So-
lie. I was really nervous about this,
Yeah,
but it's been
well, most
fun.
people are. It's not hard to sit and
No.
talk for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, guys. When it comes to it, I'm more of an introvert, but
Okay.
I've enjoyed this.
Good.
This is fun.
So,
well, I'm really upset that I don't have a thought of the day. Like, I cannot, like, my brain is fried right now. I cannot think about this.
okay. Well,
So,
to spare Hayden any more thinking, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Tune in next week. I forgot to announce you as the next guest on our last episode, so my apologies. I've managed to offend every guest so far because we delayed Steven. I forgot to announce you, but I'm going to try to make things right this time. So tune in next week for James Crussell, our dining hall director.
Okay.
Will be on the podcast with us. So we'll ask him your question and all these other questions.
yeah, maybe I'll have 2 thoughts of the day.
Maybe. And he can tell us about the Camp Davy Crockett Thinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a great day.
Yeah. It's been a great day to be a scout at Camp Davy Fun. Hey, John said it with me.
Bye.
Camp Davy Chronicles. It's a podcast about